My name's Heath Smith. I'm the lead game designer on Shadow of the Tomb Raider for Eidos Montreal.
So what are you guys showing here at Comic-Con with Shadow of the Tomb Raider?
Well, what we're showing here is a sample of Paititi, which is a new social experience for Lara. It's the largest hub that we've ever created for a Tomb Raider game, both in terms of surface area, but also in terms of depth. So we're talking about the layers of traversal that we're bringing new to this game. So the canopy and underwater.
Underwater levels have been mostly known as infamous parts of the games that frustrate gamers, but they've been demanded back. Talk about how you're handling that mechanic in the game.
Sure. Well, our approach is to see it through the lens of survival, because this is the survival trilogy, and it's not about being able to swim. Although the underwater environments are explorable and there's a lot of treasures and secrets to find, they're dangerous and they're trying to kill you like everything else. So you're going to see piranhas, moray eels, these sorts of things challenging you, and just the basic breath. You can run out of breath and you will feel that claustrophobia and fight for breath. So hopefully it brings the classic back, but with the new feeling.
Some of the older Tomb Raider games were a challenge, not so much because they were hard, but because you were fighting the controls. Talk about how you've mainstreamed that in these past 3 games.
Yeah, well, for example, on this one, we're really iterating on the rappelling. We introduced the grapple axe, and now because she's going to the jungle, she's going to cenotes, she's descending into these cave environments. Now she can organically flow from a grapple axe to an axe wall, to a rappel swing, and to a wall run, which we see as the completion of her abilities, because she is becoming, at the end of this game, which is the 3rd game in the trilogy, the Tomb Raider she's meant to be. So in a way, she's completing her skill set.
Talk about what are some of the challenges in creating these tomb environments, these intricate puzzles and challenges for the player to try to get across?
Sure. Well, the main theme we're trying to get across here is that all of these tombs are trying to kill you. In the previous game, Rise of the Tomb Raider, the tombs were a celebration of ascension, of getting closer to God, these sorts of themes, which was about the rise in her ascension. This is about descending into the underworld and the challenges and the demons that she'll face. So one of the challenges was making sure that spiky, horrible-looking things are inviting for the player to go towards, because normally you don't want to go there. So we're using lighting, we're using silhouetting, we're using composition. And the second challenge was, how do we bring that sense of Lara not always being alone, which you see in the hub, into the tomb? So that's just a teaser that maybe you won't always be alone in these spaces.
So talk a little about the combat in your game, because when I see it, I instantly think Predator.
That's so great that you say that. Really, our buzzword is one with the jungle, and it's becoming the ultimate predator. So she's outnumbered, she's outgunned, she's in a situation she's never been in before, which is the jungle, where everything's trying to kill you. So she has to adapt to that environment. She has to use mud as camouflage, like you said. She has to use the canopy way more than in the previous game, because she's in the jungle, it's full of trees. And she has also now the ability in the combat to return from assault back into stealth. So you can lose the enemy, and you can use that cat and mouse tactics to be like a predator and play with the enemy and be, let's say, more professional than she was in the previous games, where she might switch to mowing everyone down.
As a game designer, can you talk about the challenges when taking like an open world hub or like a section of a game where you're kind of free roaming into a narrative, linear, dynamic environment? How do you transition to that, and are there any challenges to that?
Yeah, it's making sure that it feels like a seamless experience. So again, using the lighting, using the composition, music, all of the tools we have at our disposal to blend those experiences together. We also, in this one, we're using a lot more the NPCs that you find in the hub to direct you and push you out into those exploration spaces. Whereas previously you might pick up a map or a satchel that would reveal a location. Now you might speak to someone and they will tell you a tale of a place that they will not go. And of course, your Tomb Raider sense should be tingling and you will want to go there.
What's your favorite way to play the combat in this game, personally?
Personally, my favorite way is to use the jungle herbs of the environment. So one of the new things we've done is we've blown up and expanded the healing system from the previous games. In the previous game, you could hold down the left bumper and you could heal. Now you can hold down the left bumper and you have a whole bunch of healing herbal recipes that she uses her knowledge of the Amazonian jungle plants to develop. So you can see the enemies through the environment, much like the ultimate predator, and also slow down time when you're aiming your bow. So it feels like you're very much the apex predator when you're using this mode.
And when does the game come out, and what platforms will it be on?
The game comes out on September the 14th, and it's going to be on PS4, Xbox, Xbox One X, PS4 Pro, and PC.